Hi, I am back for Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. Today is day 6. Again, if you've never checked out that Korean band called Day 6, I would recommend it. Anywho, today's question is about stalker cards. So, what card stalked you in 2021? So, I own only 7 decks of tarot cards. So there was one main card from a specific deck that I was thinking of, but I was also just curious what all of the same cards looked like throughout my decks. So I have them sitting in front of me on the floor. So I might be looking down like a lot and grabbing from the floor a lot. Anywho, the very specific card I was thinking about was the Ten of Wands. From the Everyday Witch Tarot. So that, where am I, is this Ten of Wands. And as you can see, there's a witch. She's holding 10 brooms. She has her fun, furry, feline friend with her. And she looks like she's struggling. So the Ten of Wands, definitely, this card specifically, would pop up a lot in the beginning of the year when I was doing more of a daily tarot practice and more of a just trying to connect intuitively to cards. I had picked one deck to work with, and that was the Everyday Witch Tarot, just because there's something just so, they're very like similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith, but they just have the witchy aesthetic that I love. So they were a little bit more like relatable to me. But this one would pop up a lot. And overwhelm definitely tends to be a theme in my life, and usually that is of my own device. So either that's I've taken on too many things to do at the same time, just overwhelm. Or it could be just as simple as I have to clean everything, and that's overwhelming. I don't know. I just get overwhelmed a lot. That's a fun topic in therapy. Therapy is good, kids. You should try it if you don't. Anywho, so yeah, that's the Everyday Witch Tarot, Ten of Wands. And then, just for funsies, we have the Weird Cat Tarot, Ten of Wands. And this one I feel like has more of a whimsical. So like even though it's still like a burden, the cat almost kind of looks a little bit like, I'm intrigued. Why do I have 10 of these things? Like, why is this a burden? Is it not a burden? So I like how it kind of has a little bit more of a fun aspect to it. And again, that's from the Weird Cat Tarot. And then we also have from the Crow Tarot, this one. This is like my newest deck, so I don't have as many, I haven't used it as often. But this I just think's neat because the bird, the crow, is carrying all of them. And it doesn't really look like it's struggling, even though it probably is a struggle. And some of them look like they could be falling out very soon. So maybe that could be the struggle. But yeah, the Crow Tarot. What else do we have? Tarot of the Divine. So this is their version of the Ten of Wands. These are all based off of like fairy tales, myths, divine stories. I didn't look up which story this is based off of, but it's almost beautiful in a way because it's like death and rebirth. So even though somebody, like these 10 branches of this bush, this tree, are literally growing out of a skull. It's very poetic. Let's see, we have 3 more. This one is from the Guardian Tarot, Ten of Wands, which is probably the most unique one I have. It's also very hard to see. But I noticed there's not actually like 10 of anything represented here. And it almost seemed with there's like this little circle thing here. So like, it seems a little bit more, I don't know what the word is that I'm thinking of. it's not coming to mind when I looked at it earlier. Because it's definitely above the third eye, because I feel like the third eye tends to be more of like around the brow. But yeah. Oh well. Can't think of it now, and that's okay. And then two more. Oops. This one, what deck is this called? This is Tarot of a Moon Garden and 10 of Staffs. This was the very first deck I got. It was a hand-me-down from my friend. And they call it the Wand Staffs in this deck. And this one, I think, like, it still has a little bit of like a positive spin because there's one little like sliver where you can see there's a path to get to the castle. I think it's a castle. Yeah, in the background. So again, even though the 10 of Wands, in this case 10 of Staffs, tends to be a bit more of like a negative card because it's just like you're taking on other people's burdens. You're like you got too much going on. Like drop some stuff. Drop those wands. They do still sometimes have like a little bit of a positive spin to them. And this one, hold on, I have to look at this book because it's just like the Lil I can't say it, Llewellyn, generic kind of Llewellyn classic tarot. That's what it's from. Yeah, so just their little classic tarot. The only reason I had bought this one was because I had bought this book, Your Tarot, Your Way, and then I was like, well, I want the cards that are actually like in the thing so I can see them in color, yada, yada, yada. It's not my favorite deck, but it is what it is. Anywho, yeah, so this one still is like very traditional. And even he seems like he's not struggling too hard because it seems like he has a pretty good system going on in the way that he has the staffs all like oriented in such a way that he might not be struggling so hard. But it's still a lot to carry. Still a lot to carry. And it's totally self-imposed. So yeah, that's the cards. Again, this one specifically is the one that I was picturing in my mind. And excuse me, I just did a little tiny belch. I drank some orange juice before I filmed this, so acidic, you know, it doesn't always. And now I'm just playing with the card. So I will see everybody or whoever. I don't see you, you see me tomorrow. Bye.